Happy full moon, everybody. We're going to dive into the astrology of today's full moon. According to sidereal Vedic Astrology, I am a Vedic astrologer and a Western astrologer. I made another video about the Western astrology, so if you prefer that, check that one out. I used to combine the two approaches in one video, but that is a little bit confusing for people. So I'm going to stick with working with the different systems in different videos. So one key difference about Vedic and Western astrology is that the Vedic uses the sidereal calendar that's 24 degrees back, so the signs are different. The moon in the sidereal calendar is in Cancer. And Cancer is the sign of the moon, so planets do really well and their positive qualities have more prominence when they are in their own sign. So in Cancer, the moon is happy and bright, and we get these nurturing, loving, caring, motherly qualities more amplified with the moon. The sun is in Capricorn, who is ruled by Saturn, and this is still considered a more strict and traditional sign. And we see the aspect of the planet Rahu on the moon. And Rahu is a shadow planet. It's the point connected with eclipses. The other side of it is Ketu. It's also known as the North Node. And Rahu is a planet that creates a sort of strange effect. Its shadow creates a strong desire, a strong sense of wanting to get out of the box. It can create a sort of pressure with this intense thirst and hunger that the desire of Rahu brings. And Rahu is a malefic planet. When several malefic planets influence any planet in a chart, it's not considered positive. It's actually called a curse sometimes. But when just one malefic planet influences another planet, this influence can actually be something that's protective or brings a positive quality. And for Rahu, this is bringing a desire for us to think outside of the box, go beyond the norm, do things differently at the time of this full moon that will be propelling us into expansion and evolution. The moon is aspected by Saturn, and this aspect means that there can be energies or resources coming in from Saturnian figures in our lives, which can be figures of authority or that old elderly or more austere, mystical sorts of people are all bringing a Saturn energy, and this is influencing this full moon. And the full moon is also in Saturn's nakshatra, or lunar mansion. And the nakshatras are the 27 stars of the zodiac, and it's another calendar used in addition to the 12 signs in the Vedic science called rashis, which means clump or heap, literally heap. And so these smaller parts called the nakshatras give us deeper qualities, and the mythology really comes to life in these nakshatras. And so we have Pushya Nakshatra as the nakshatra of this moon. And Pushya is connected with the deity Brihaspati, who is akin to Jupiter and is a very benevolent, loving, generous, and spiritual figure. And the myth of Brihaspati is that Brihaspati was so focused on spirituality and religious practice and ceremonies and meditation that he neglected his wife Tara. And in feeling neglected, Tara cheated on him and got pregnant. And Brihaspati petitioned all the other gods, can you please beg Tara that we come back together? And they actually did, but Tara was already pregnant. And Brihaspati accepted the child and celebrated that even though this was a co-creation, that the three of us created this infidelity. Now it's brought this child into the world, and that's fate, and Brihaspati embraced the child. The child's actually the moon. So the planets play out in the same mythology as all these deities in the Vedic realm. And this makes Pushya Nakshatra taking on some of the characteristics of this myth. It's very spiritual, and it's a great time to do spiritual work or do things connected with our own evolution, our own deeper spiritual knowledge. And perhaps it's a moon that's more austere and focused on these things that really matter to our deep spiritual heart. It's a time of generosity and caring, and we might feel that our hearts are really open and we want to share energy with others. It's a time when we feel bright and brilliant, and it's a time of also forgiveness. That's a quality of this nakshatra as well, is forgiving and letting things go and realizing that within all of these mistakes, it was a co-creation on behalf of everybody, and there's something that needs to be born from it, and we need to celebrate what is birthed from these problems rather than dwell on the problems themselves. And this energy allows us to make the most out of the moment, to bring our vibration into a more positive aligned state so that things in our lives and energies in our lives also come into resonance with that. And that's really important on this full moon. So some other planetary influences that are playing out, take a step back. Some of the shadow or negative aspects of this nakshatra, Pushya, is surrendering too much to fate, is being kind of more of a victim to circumstance. It's being so trusting of the divine that one doesn't take action and just thinks that God will do everything. And God will do a lot for us, but we have to step in as well and do some of the work and bring some of the things together. And some of the other negative aspects is being a little bit too dogmatic and just kind of mimicking teachers or teachings without really embodying them. So these are some of the shadows that can come up around this full moon, and it's really important that we honor this great spirituality and generosity, but we don't become a victim, we don't become too trusting, and we don't surrender entirely to fate, that we realize we're active participants, and it means that we have choice, and it means that we have to be discerning as well. And discernment is a Saturnian quality that natives of Pushya need to cultivate, and also we need to cultivate with the moon connected to Saturn at this time. Some of the other influences that are playing out in the horoscope of the moment is that there is a conjunction between Mercury and Mars, and also Venus is in the same sign, but many degrees back. The biggest and most prominent thing is Mercury and Mars together. I talked a little bit about this in the other video, but I'll touch on it again here. It's that this makes for a very fierce energy. Mercury is our words and thoughts, and Mars is our will, our assertion. It allows us to be full power with our work, because Mercury is also connected with business. It's connected with learning. Our mind is supercharged and active right now, and there's a lot of potential to grow with this energy. There's potential to do a lot and get a lot done. And the danger is perhaps in being sharp or harsh with our words, as Mars has a side of it that is aggressive. And luckily, there's not any other malefics involved in this, making it a more difficult and challenging influence. Luckily, we don't have that happening now. We actually have the aspect of Jupiter and the mutual reception of Jupiter that's really amplifying that ability to get things done and do a lot and share a lot of information in beautiful, loving ways. Venus in the picture is amping up the love and beauty, and Venus will continue to make this a powerful blessing in that sign of Sagittarius. So if you have anything in sidereal Sagittarius, it's really getting a bolstering and an uplifting energy at this time, so enjoy that. And I send much love and blessings to you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, these are the general energies, but how this is really going to play out for you depends on your chart. So if you want to learn more about how this or any astrological influence is affecting you and can be used in beneficial ways, I'm available for readings, so check out my page, DanteStarshine.com, and thanks so much for watching. Blessings and love.